Welcome to yet another episode of Safe Road Cafeteria. My name is Monica Nabyonga, and here with me is Dr. David Kabanda. Doctor, in our last episode, you mentioned something to do with liquid oils being turned into solid oils, what you termed as industrial trans fatty acids. It's some bit of technical English, a lot of science. But anyway, before we dig deeper into there, first say hello to our viewers.
Hello viewers, I'm again happy to come back on the Safe Road Cafeteria episode on industrial trans fatty acids. We will try to explain what it is and what are the dangers.
Okay. All right. One person who is viewing us there may be like, Doctor, is it a medical doctor or something? No, Dr. David Kabanda is a PhD holder in food law. Am I right?
Yes.
In food law. So he talks about the things in the perspective of, that's where actually it comes from. He's a food lawyer. Yeah, I think we have one in Africa, in the whole of Africa, because people are into other things, politics, what. But for Dr. David Kabanda, he chose food law. All right, Doctor, for starters, this word, it is, as I've told you, it is really technical. There is a word industry, then trans, then fat, then acids. What does it mean?
We may not go now into those technical terms, but people should know that in the food processing, food preparation, food cooking and eating, fats are very important for our bodies.
Okay.
Fats, we have oils, we have animal fat, we have vegetable fat, we have a variety of fats. We also have fats from nuts. For example, if you cooked your peanuts, you'll see fat.
Yes.
So fat is very important. Actually, food scientists and dietitians will tell you that some vegetables they get absorbed well in your body when you use some fat with it. Yes. We have fat from fish, very good fat, omega fat. I think we need to start with that, telling people that fat is part of the food and our bodies need fat. But in the process of having fat as a good thing for our bodies, the food industry and the science behind them, in a bid to make a lot of money, abnormal profits, they picked some of the liquid oils, good oil like vegetable oil, and now they pick it, take it to industry, process, and then they take it through a process called hydrogenation. They add hydrogen. In some instances, it is then what happens, you have a solid fat at room temperature, and it is now trans fat. But the thing, we have trans fat, maybe, for example, some animals, you can find trans fat, and but this one is industrial. The biggest challenge we have is a human being who is sitting somewhere because they want to make a lot of profits. They have taken our good oil, call it like vegetable oil, I have said, and now they take it through an industrial process. So before you know it, you have a margarine before you, and it is not a fat anymore.
It is what, doctor?
So, okay, what is before you looks like a fat. And indeed, the industry is going to call it fat. But it is no longer fat because eventually this is an industrial product.
Okay, doctor, maybe we need to understand, because you've said they take it through the industry, so it turns solid at
Yes.
room temperature,
Yes.
meaning when it is exposed to heat, it still solidifies, right? So we have fats.
No. When you expose it to heat,
It liquidifies.
yes. But
Okay.
at room temperature, it is solid.
Okay. Now, doctor, we have fats from animals, as you've said. For example, my Muslim brothers and sisters, you'll forgive me, but from that animal, you find that when you cook that animal, that fat, when you keep it and it cools, it also it solidifies.
We advise people not to eat, but they will eat. But at least that is not as dangerous as the industry made
Fat.
product.
Okay.
Of course, now you're calling it fat, but for me, it's no longer fat.
It is a
Okay, this is the issue. Have you heard that scientists, World Health Organization, are encouraging people to eat lean meat, or
Yes.
to reduce meat, or to eat in moderation? What they call lean meat is they are trying to ask you to avoid fatty meat or to avoid fat, because that what we call trans is because of, now this is science, the double bond and it's
Doctor, try to explain it in a layman's language because we want to understand the thing.
so why it is called trans is because at room temperature it solidifies. And then to help you understand this, when you are eating, for example, fatty meat on your plate, if it takes time, it solidifies.
Yes.
You can see it on your plate.
When we were young, the days we ate meat at home, we had to wash the plates with hot water.
With hot water, because now the fat has now solidified.
Yes.
And it is on the plate.
Yes.
That exact thing you see, it is what they call trans fat, because now it is no longer a single bond. It is double bond, and it can... because of the nature of its solidification, it causes issues in your blood system, in your arteries, in your veins. You understand? If you eat it that way. So we tell people to be careful. If you are eating meat, be careful. Eat lean meat. Okay. Or you can avoid meat. We have advised people you can eat meat once in a week or twice, but some people want to eat
on a daily,
like 3 times in a day or 4. But of course, now you've taken me into animal fat. That one can be avoided. We can.
There is a word fat. So someone will be interested in knowing which fat.
Which fat. So the message is clear. Kindly avoid, limit, eat in moderation when it comes to animal fat.
Okay, doctor, going back to industrial trans fatty acids, as you said, that they are taken to the industry, they go through a process called hydrogenation. So what happens?
Okay, so eventually, when they take the oil, the liquid oil, because now it is liquid at room temperature. Yes. Now, if it is liquid at room temperature, they can't use it for spreads. They can't use it for to do many other things. And now, why they take it through hydrogenation, and it is solidifies at room temperature, they'll even add other chemicals such that its aroma is enhanced, the flavor, the color, everything, and the texture. This is why they sell it, and they'll tell you spread. You can can put in porridge. You can eat, and what you are eating is danger, because it is the #1 cause for cardiovascular disease. And when we say cardiovascular diseases, we mean the entire body, your veins, your arteries, your heart. And before people complain about it, or they refuse to leave the margarines and everything, listen, for you to go to the Heart Institute, just a mere treatment, you need from 5 million to 30 million. including open heart surgeries and everything. So we have told you the bread you are eating has ITFAs industrially.
Yeah, because it's one of the ingredients,
yes,
actually.
in Uganda, for example, if you went to Chikubo today and you asked for, if you told them, I'm going to be making bread, there is a solid fat that they'll give you.
Actually.
It is not even labeled,
Labeled.
so you'll never know. Ministry of Health has just done a research, and 90% of the products that have ITFAs in Uganda are not labeled. So you'll eat without knowing.
So, Doctor, apart from bread, which other snacks maybe have these industrial trans fatty acids?
So you'll find it in cakes, you'll find it in bread, you'll find it in crisps, you'll find it in all sorts of confectionery. The moment you see that is, those ones, if you didn't make them, don't buy them for your children. Don't. Because they have been induced by or with industrial trans fatty acids, and we have told you they are the primary cause of the high blood pressures that you see. Children now have all kinds of, and also cancer. Yes, seriously. So people, avoid eating margarine. Avoid if you can. Please avoid. You lose nothing because there is no any non-nutrient component in that fat.
But doctor, we are in a dilemma. Because when you're watching TV, when you're listening to radio, even in our community radios, actually, Radio Luwero, Chiwoga FM, you will hear people say that these margarines, they are good for your child. For example, if a child is malnourished, someone will tell you cook Irish maybe and put in some margarine for your child.
We need to sue them. I will not even wait for you to finish. We are lawyers. This is why we studied food law up to a PhD level. We are going to sue health workers. I want to warn health workers. Whoever is advising mothers or parents or guardians to use margarine, and we are going to sue advertising agents.
Yeah, because
seriously,
them, they are telling us it makes you
and
taller.
whoever is pushing these adverts. But maybe before we sue them, we need to, a ministry, government of Uganda, under WHO, they came up with a package, they call it Replace, where all countries in the world agreed to come up with regulations and laws. And we want to appeal to government of Uganda through Ministry of Health, please come up with these regulations, first to ban partially hydrogenated oils, because the spreads are in that category. And now we regulate ITFAs or trans fat. That is possible. But we also need to invest in, for us as civil society, what we can do to join government is to create awareness, because many parents don't know. Many parents don't know. And the industry, they cause hyper palatability. It is too good on the tongue. Yes. When you are eating, it is soft, its flavor is enhanced. So you find that many people crave, and there are even addictive elements or agents in that fat. So you find that people are eating, people are craving. Many people don't know. We are going to continue creating the awareness, but we appeal to government through Ministry of Health and please WHO also to help such that we get this ITFA, industrial trans fatty acids regulation, and ban partially hydrogenated oils.
Okay, doctor, we've seen some labels saying you can buy something, and then when you try to read on the labels, there is something like 0 grams oils. When it comes to oils, 0 grams. But in actual sense, you know very well that this this snack cannot survive without any oils in it. So is there any science behind? Because we've seen it actually around.
Yes, we know there is a lot of fraud in the food market. There is a lot of fraud because the primary objective of whoever is putting a food product on the market is making profit. In fact, they don't care about your health. They care about your money, and actually they would prefer that you fall sick. Because when you fall sick, you'll eat more of their product, and then you'll also, because they have already hooked you. And why we want to speak to the parents is because when they hook your child, when they are young, they have manipulated their taste buds, they have manipulated their senses, because what they do is manipulating your senses every time you crave for this product, because it was manufactured using an industrial trans fatty acid. And this is a trans fatty acid. It's no longer just fat. They have engineered it to come to that level. So we want to appeal to the public to be careful. Nobody should lie to you. And you've talked about labels. We want still to appeal to government of Uganda as we do this awareness. Kindly come up, let us have a regulation on front of the pack warning labeling, because although we are speaking like this, many people will continue eating and this information may not reach everyone. So let there be regulation such that the eating can maybe be in moderation and we have a harms reduction. Kindly let us have a front of the pack warning labeling system in Uganda.
All right, Doctor, as we wind up, maybe someone will be like, now what will I use when I'm going to bake my cake? What will I use when I'm going to bake my bread?
Well, you can use oils. I had stopped eating cakes till when there was almost a revolution in my home. You know, many people celebrate birthdays.
Yes.
In fact, we will need to speak to government to issue, maybe I need to speak to the president to issue a presidential order to stop birthdays in Uganda till the industry changes the cake makeup. Our children in the kindergarten, every time
every
they
day
ask
in the
you,
kindergarten
bring
we are
a cake,
celebrating, yes.
and all children are eating. All the cake industry must be stopped in Uganda for a moment such that we reorganize ourselves. This is what we need to do. But what I did, I spoke to we had one person who was baking cakes. And I told him, if you cannot do away with margarine and trans fatty, don't. And I told my wife, if that is the case, no cakes here. And I had to stand my ground. You see, sometimes you have to.
But also women, we are so influential. Sometimes your words may not work.
I know. But you see, I had to explain the science.
Okay.
And eventually, this person who makes cakes told me that we can use oil. He told me, what kind of oil do you want? I told him, extra virgin oil. Okay. Extra virgin olive oil. He said, yes, I'm going to make a cake of using that oil, but it's not going to be very smooth and the texture may change a little bit. I told him I have no problem. And when he brought the cake was nice. So we can get away with these killing components. Ministry of Health and dear government of Uganda, the burden we have on the health care system comes from these too many things we are eating. The mandazi. Stop eating mandazi, dear Ugandans. Stop eating the cakes. Stop eating the donuts. Stop eating these things. They have been made using ITFAs. You are dying, but slowly.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kabanda. Actually, let me get your last remarks because in our next episode, we shall be speaking to a lawyer and we shall be speaking through this regulation you've talked about, the regulation on ITFAs and then the ban on partially hydrogenated oils.
Okay. So I sometimes want to speak to every parent, to every child. We have even started, we have a lot of people calling us to speak to their children, to be like coaches, to guide them. There are many senior citizens, elderly people, pregnant mothers who don't know what to do. You can always call in and then maybe people can guide you, people can help you. But it starts with you. if we all refuse to eat what we don't know, it will stop. Stop eating in the dark. First of all, it is your money. Secondly, it is your health. Third is your relatives. It is your children. Do not cause bad life for your children because you have accumulated too many non-communicable diseases. Please, if you want to die, maybe you go and commit suicide instead of eating junk. And before you know it, the entire clan must now organize themselves to look for money for you.
Fundraise for you.
We can stop this.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. David Kabanda. This is the Safe Road Cafeteria for you. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can even put that notification button so that whenever we upload any episode, you're able to watch it in time. And of course, like, subscribe, and also share with others. Also give us a comment. What would you like us to talk about on this Safe Road Cafeteria? My name is Monica Nabionga. Tune in to our next episode. We shall be speaking to a lawyer, and we shall be talking about this regulation, hybrid regulation on industrial trans fatty acids. Thank you very much.